Yeah, no, I mean, I think you're on sort of a whatever you watched earlier today, the TED Talks or whatever you're watching and listening to. Tim Ferriss obviously has got the old noodle kind of cranked up today, and you're in fuego as they say. And guys, hey, thanks for joining us today with another episode of on the podcast here with Go Ball Hunting. We've been spending a lot of time actually not recording stuff, and Jeff is. Maybe he was hanging around at Fresno State University last weekend where it kind of stirred the pot on the old academia side of Jeff Jacklich.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? I better not say it. I mean, you know, with me, it's always, well, it's not saying much. Anyway, so, all right, listen, guys, again, welcome. Another episode of Go Ball Hunting. I'm Brent Abel. That guy over there is Jeff Jacklich. And we're pumping out a daily episode to our podcast. And if you hear some heavy breathing going on over there in the corner, that would be Bubba, your buddy, Bubba.
Oh, yeah, he loves me.
Just came, in a strange way. He just came back from a walk with Mai, and I guess the heat kind of is getting to him. So he doesn't do it. Yeah, I mean, bull mastiffs, English mastiffs don't do too well in the heat here. So anyway, if you hear a bunch of heavy panting, that's what it is, not who it is, what it is. Anyway, and so yeah, we're pumping out a daily episode, having a lot of fun. Hoping you guys are getting something out of this. The feedback we're getting from a lot of players is that this is a good thing because we are really trying to help senior players, and that's kind of a senior tennis is anything. Well, literally now, I think in the USTA 25s.
Yeah,
I mean you can, and that's so, considered. Yeah. I mean that's an age group, right? But I think we're probably more with 50 plus, and I'm sure we've got some younger players in there too.
Yeah.
Because you'd be smart if you're younger to listen to stuff from a couple of old dudes, especially me, in terms of like my kids, right? I don't want you to make the same mistake I did.
Right.
Oh, gee, Daddy, you've been telling this for the last 20 years. Must have been a lot of mistakes. Well, yeah, that's why I want you to make them. So, anyway, the other thing is we're offering a free private coaching call, 10-minute coaching call. 3 of us, you, me, and Jeff, we get in the phone. It's a conference call. You bring that one thing in your game right now that if you could just knock the big domino flat on his booty, that a lot of other stuff would get cleaned up in your game and you'd be starting to play consistently where you want to be. So the way to get in that call, go over to goalballhunting.com, first name, email address, the button. Then click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler. If you're already on our email list, just look at the email somewhere in there. You'll find a link to get to our calendar. So Jeff, I've got something that we're sort of batch recording these last. This is the 3rd episode that we've done today. But you started off with this kind of open-ended deal about, are you following the crowd, and how do you know that's the crowd you want to follow?
Right.
Because what are those things that jump into the river? Oh, come on! Are they willoughbys? I think they're willoughbys. They're kind of like big, kind of deer or something like this, and they just kind of mindlessly they just jump into the river and drown because everyone else is, or all the other ones are. So anyway, we sort of brought that up, and then we had another topic in our last episode. But one thing that came up to me, the topic in the last episode was, stop asking your teammates after you're done with a match, sitting around with a beer on the deck, what do you think? Give me a tip on the serve, man. No bueno. That's not good. And I want you to, and if you haven't listened to that episode, do it, because and there's a good couple of suggestions, especially at the end, as to how you could discover your own good stuff, what it looks like, and then how to make it happen. I think the other thing is that a lot of players reach a certain age, or they get to a certain injury or something, and they go, the old cliche is, well, can you really teach an old dog new tricks? And I think a lot of players out there, Jeff, feel like, hey man, I'm 65, I'm 58,
Right.
I'm 72. Come on, it's real. I'm getting older. I can't get better. And I just want to go slap him around a few times and go,
yeah,
stop it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Without
And it could be that getting
doubt.
better is just that, like we talk about with the skill level range, it could be that getting better is consistently playing at the very top of your potential day in and day out. That's so doable,
Right.
but you got to believe that it's not like, well, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We're not teaching you new tricks. We're just sort of helping you do a little self-discovery, which is what you brought up earlier today.
Right.
Hey, man, are you following maybe the wrong crowd?
Maybe.
Right.
And are you listening to the wrong crowd? Are you making an honest assessment of your skill set in your current, let's say, fitness, health, and making kind of a premature decision that I can't do this anymore just because of the current crowd that you're listening to it's like, wait a second here. I mean, one of the guys, new guys that, I was just introduced to this last year, and now, Tim is like a great example. Here's a guy coming back to the game at age 75.
Right.
I mean, unbelievable. Right?
Yes.
And it's been a re-education process. He's got instinctual things. He played as a younger man, a good high level of the game. And then he became a scratch golfer.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a skilled guy. But then he comes back to tennis. He gets this bug. He gets this itch that, like, hey, you know what? I think I could be okay at this. I think I could do some damage. And sure enough, he is doing damage, and he's going to do more damage in the 75s. But there's a guy that that I think you recommended him, to come see me, and we sat and chatted for a solid hour and a half, maybe the very first time. We didn't hit a ball. I just needed to, listen to the guy and hear, how does this guy tick? What makes him tick, and how does he think, and da-da-da. And then I was able to kind of go, yeah, let's do this thing. And
look, I mean, I don't care what age you're at. I don't care how bad of an injury, permanent life, for the rest of your life injury you've got. There are ways that you can improve your current skill level. And again, maybe it's just being super consistent on a day in and day out basis. To get back to what you said a couple episodes ago about, are you following the wrong crowd? Well, we all know that you're sort of an average of those X number of people or players that you hang out with. So it could be that the crowd you're following doesn't have the kind of guys or gals in it who actually want to do the work with a mindset, I want to actually become a better tennis player.
Right.
And you have to go find those people. You have to hang out with those people. One way to do that, hang out with us. Do this through the podcast. I mean, Look, you know me. I'm in the 71s. And I'm thinking I'm so underperforming that I just go, what else could I be doing here? Who else could I be hanging out with? Who are the players out there? Or maybe who are the guys I could listen to on a podcast? Even if it's a business podcast, I don't care, self-help deal or something like this. But who are the people I want to be around that will inspire me, that will motivate me to, if I want to get better, then why not?
Right.
Why
exactly.
not? So
and that's it. I think the other thing is just, we were talking about this before we actually started recording, so I'm going to circle back to it. And that is, I was recalling in one of the TED Talks, the guy was talking about Einstein after he had, become a professor at university and blah, blah, blah. And he was giving his students their exam at the end of the year. And one of his colleagues said, isn't that the same exact question you asked this same class last year on their final exam? And he said, yes, it is. He goes, what's your point? He says, well, why are you doing that? Don't they know the answers? He goes, He says, no, the answer has changed in this field of study. The answer has changed since last year.
Right.
So are you, so in doing that in tennis, how does that relate? Are you thinking through the same answer that it was 5 years ago when you were a certain age? Are you looking through that same lens and saying, well, I'm using that as the barometer to decide whether I should keep playing or whether I should pursue getting better or not? Because I can tell you this for an absolute fact, the answers are different now than they were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. The answers to some of these questions are different now because we have highly specialized diet capabilities for ages, for our age specific, and for any problems that you might have specifically. We have fitness capabilities for age specific and, injury specific. I mean, we can just go down the list here. So to come up, are you telling a story for why?
Well, look, a lot of people are telling themselves the story, I'm too old to actually get any better, really as an excuse to go, well, then that's why I don't really want to put in the work. So it's really an excuse to not put in the work. So look, if that's what you're going to do, if you're going to tell yourself that story that you're too old to get any better, then you know what? You're absolutely right. You're completely right. You are not going to get any better, and it's going to frustrate you. It's one of those.
I think you could probably end up taking some of the expectation out of your own mind if you just fessed up to it to yourself and just went, I enjoy playing tennis. I'd like to be better. I don't feel like putting in the friggin' work. So, okay, just relax then and go out and play.
Absolutely.
And enjoy yourself then and quit laying this expectation, this guilt trip on yourself.
Right.
That says, God, I really should come out and work on my serve. Okay, that might be a true statement, but if the truth also is I'm not going to, then quit badgering yourself.
Yeah. And stop asking people on the deck for the little quick fix for the thing, and
get it,
and just
go enjoy yourself.
Just totally go enjoy yourself. So,
enjoy the game at the level you're at.
Right.
Yeah.
So good. Well, maybe that's the reason to give us a call, a free 10-minute coaching call, is let us see if we can.
We can talk you off the ledge.
That's right. That's right. Come on back. It's going to be okay.
It'll be okay.
It'll be okay. Right. Good. All right, Jeff. Well, listen, man. Good episode. Thank you guys for hanging out with us again today, and hope you got something out of today's episode. Again, just mentioned the free coaching call, 10-minute call, 3 of us. It's private. Goldballhunting.com. First name, email address. Click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler. You get to pick the time of day. It's up to you, not us. We're open. We're wide open to whatever you need. Now, again, not maybe the perfect time's available because someone else is doing it, but anyway, Jeff.
Yeah.
It is your time in the podcast. That what do we want the folks to do right now?
We'd like everybody to like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
God, I'm just, you've gotten so good at it. I can't wait for the day where you go, what's that third thing?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe next week
it could happen.
When you finally get to Michigan and you kind of go, you're so scrambled mentally
that's right.
Could happen. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, we'll do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.